Hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of Boropod. Joining us today, Greg, back from more travels. How you doing, son?
Yeah, I'm alright, mate. Not too bad. Just about warmed up after the freezing cold and miserable Saturday afternoon I had to sit through, but yeah, I'm all good.
Good. Nick's here. Hello, mate.
Hello. I'm nice and cosy after not sitting in the freezing cold all of Saturday afternoon.
And Dean Thompson in the wrong colours has joined us.
Good evening, folks. Good evening, everybody. I thought I'd go for the Orlando home strip this evening that my good friend David Valentin sent me a couple of seasons ago.
Fair enough. How you doing, mate? Good. Are you still working off out the country?
Yeah, just trawling around the place a little bit. So back there on Wednesday. So I'm missing Saturday, unfortunately. So it's busy times coming up. So
I look forward to the Dean Thompson "Wish You Were Here" documentary. You did Dino and Steve's travel documentary. That'd be great.
We got that tomorrow to go to Peterborough. So
we should. You should start recording your chats in the car.
Do you know what? Years ago, Dan Bronowski and Dave Toyne travelled with us to do exactly that. And then, Toyney said to him, well, you haven't really recorded anything, Dan. He went, well, nothing's really happened. And I went, what are we? A pair of performing monkeys?
I could just imagine you two clamming right up at the thought of it being your conversation in the car being recorded.
Let me tell you something. He was in bad boy form on Saturday, Steve Watkins. I had to turn my mic off because I was giggling like a schoolgirl at one point. I was telling Greg about Boyce's baguette.
Yeah.
And, but before that, I'd said something to him just as he was about to go live with Team News, and he basically gaggled his way through it and then blamed me.
Having the experience of sitting in the row in front of you two for a few seasons, you would get the odd game here and there where Steve would come in and he'd be in a particularly mischievous mood.
And, he was on Saturday,
and it would go well. What was the word he had to sneak into?
Witches was the word. He didn't get the points this morning.
I did wonder when he said the Witches of Eastwick. I did wonder whether that was
magic, and it's not going to be the Witches of Eastwick. Maybe it'll be Phoenix Patterson. So yeah,
I think the way you reacted to that, I did wonder whether that was the challenge
witches.
This week.
We have to. Andy Collins gives us a word every Friday morning that we have to fit into our commentary, and there's a leaderboard. So Paul Dixon of MK won it this weekend because he'd actually done some homework about a witch that was from the Wirral, which I was very impressed with. So, yeah,
that's dedication to do some pre-research.
That's disgusting. I hate it. Talking of hating it, Stevenage 0, Doncaster 0. 4-2-3-1. You know the score. Back four. Butler played instead of Freestone. I think we can accept that. We know who the rest are. Houghton and White in the middle. Same old. Roberts, Kemp, Campbell, and Bez. Bez up front. No Jamie Reid. Interestingly, do we know why?
I heard he had a back injury.
Is that what it was?
He trained Friday, I think, but
he got injured for Northern Ireland, didn't he?
Bloody international duties coming here, taking our players, injuring.
Basically, I don't think Jamie or Dan have played a weekend after the international break, so I think it's a bit of a sticking point.
Pat suggested that Dan Phillips didn't get injured during training or during the game. He injured himself trying to squeeze those monumental thighs onto the plane.
But Pat also did say that Jamie Reid should have a break in August, and he's having plenty of breaks now, Pat. He's having most Saturday afternoons off.
I do like that you're never going to let him live that down.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Fantastic. Okay, so stat line, they had more shots, they had more possession, they had a better pass success rate. We won a couple more headers than they did, and a few more tackles than they did.
We won our duels, didn't we? We won our headed duels. We won our foot duels. I thought we were right at the back. I said to Rebs, I said he was a bit mischievous as well, because he finished his interview and I was just stood against the wall staring at my feet, and then I could feel him staring at me. And I went, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And he went, "I'm just waiting for it." So I just said I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like any of it going forward. And I said at the back, the back four were fantastic. I thought Butler was great. Pidge was Pidge. Charlie Good was outstanding. And Luther was brilliant, I thought. Apart from that,
there's nothing going on. Nothing of any interest in the final third was there.
I don't think Chem did his defensive work. I thought Robbo did. Harvey looks a bit leggy for me. The only other positive for me was Louis Thompson. Thank God for Louis Thompson.
Having him back was wonderful, wasn't it?
It's a new signing, isn't it? In a closed transfer window.
It was worrying that he had to come on as early as he did. Considering the injury issues he's had with his groin, and we saw it against Blackpool when he came back too early. All of a sudden, was missing for 2 months or 3 months. So to see him get through it seemingly unscathed was a massive plus. But neither side really adapted to the conditions on Saturday. It was one of those games where there was parts of the game where the wind whipped up a bit. It was wet and miserable, and neither team really kind of got the ball down and played. And I'd be interested to see if the overall possession, how much of that time was spent on players taking throw-ins, because it just felt like the ball was just going out of play constantly. Neither side really were able to take a strong hold in it. I don't really, apart from, Marshall made one save in the first half right in front of the North, where he got out well and shut it down pretty easily, and then got man of the match and did nothing else for the entire 90 minutes. So it pretty much summed up the lack of quality across the board. The fact that we all know the man of the match normally a bit of a laughing stock anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the sponsors just were making a point by making it the goalkeeper.
Stephen Dean definitely had a laugh on comms about that. The only player probably on the pitch that didn't get mentioned for 90 minutes got man of the match, which, it's great news, isn't it?
Didn't really mention Dan Kemp either, so he could have had a shout.
No, that's true. That's true. He just sort of got lost. I think I was really angry, really frustrated about the game come full time on Saturday, because it felt it's another one of those, feels like a missed opportunity. That being said, with the number of games in hand that we've got, and the fact that I think we can still go top tomorrow if we win away, which let's just for argument's sake say that they're still shy. We've got it's an opportunity to go top. We've been dodgy for 4 weeks, pretty much now. We've not really played great. We've not been awful. Like, it's not. I think one thing that makes fans go over the top, and some of the reactions at full time were odd. I think one of the things is that when you're not creating, or especially when you're not taking chances, but when you're not even really creating much, it just sort of exacerbates anything else negative in the game. Like, there wasn't great attacking play from anyone on the pitch for largely. There were a couple of moments here or there where things maybe looked like something may happen, but largely it was kind of everyone just sort of looked a little bit. We're up against a low block. They've set up. They know exactly what they want to do, and they've achieved it. And it's typical. We don't really know what we're going to do to break it down. So that if you're not creating chances, everything else seems a lot worse. Like, I don't think it's that bad. Like, there are games earlier in the season where we've had informed Jamie Reid on the pitch. We've had a very, very similar performance, but we've won a game. And you don't mind so much if you've you nick that one goal. That's all you need a lot of the time, especially with our back sort of 4-5, isn't it? A lot of the time we only need a goal to come away with something.
Well, look at Port Vale. That's a prime example, isn't it?
So yeah, we were shy. Well, I mean, that was a lot. That performance for 85 minutes was a lot worse than it was Saturday. Like, but it's that thing where it's just like, oh, it's such a letdown, and it just really sort of takes the wind out your sails, doesn't it?
You kind of sense something that night. Something might happen. I never sensed at any point on Saturday that we were in the last 10 minutes.
It's frustration, isn't it? Like, especially when we set such a high bar in the early stages of the season. It's that frustration that we've dropped off a bit, but not just dropped off in terms of where we were picking up wins at the start of the season. We're now drawing. It feels slightly shades of last year, which everyone found frustrating at times, and that's why I think there's a nervousness that we're creeping back into old habits, and that's where
at the end of the game, you know, those shots 5-1 on target, you think, well, I was saying that last season.
Yeah, and I think that's where the frustration comes from as fans, is that you see us go from last season to starting the season so well, and you think, right, that's all behind us, and it starts to creep back in again. You go, not this again.
They had 2 centre backs, 22 years old. We didn't give them a moment's problem, did we?
We got Labala up front. Like, how much he's not an out and out forward. Nothing was sticking up there when it was going towards him. And to be fair, like it's not really like he ran around a lot, put a bit of effort in. Like, I'm not going to criticize him. He just looked out of his depth playing up front.
And the way we play, the ball needs to stick.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you look at Clifton and Bailey that were up or attacking for them. Their ball stuck. Even with Hanlon, it stuck, didn't it? I thought he gave Piergiani a really good battle on the weekend.
Best I've seen him for.
He was a lot better for them than I've seen him before. Yeah.
And then Molyneux, the other side was pretty good for me, and Broadbent was a good sort of holding. But we didn't, Sterry and Maxwell were able to get forward and really give Butler and Luther a bit of a time, but Butler and Luther weren't able to do that, and we just didn't get going. I think he really wanted us to get going, but teams know what we're going to deliver, and he's going to have to change it. I think he knows that now. I think he knows that teams have watched us and know what we're going to do, and particularly when you've got Chem, Robbo, Kemp, Houghton, White. I don't want to say it's fairly predictable, isn't it?
Patterns show fairly quickly after a few games when you've got the same players playing in the same positions. Like if you're watching pre-match analysis and you're going through and going, oh, White is always looking for that ball, he's always looking for that pass, and Chem's always making that run. You see the patterns, and sometimes you do need to change it up. You do need to switch it a bit.
And we had this conversation on Saturday. Our back four are not ball playing. They're not going to knock it about themselves. Piergiani hates that. We can't do it. We can't take goal kicks like what Doncaster did, because we'd be conceding goals left, right, and centre. We have got to pump it, and we have got to diag it, and we have got to play it up to the 10 or the 9 who can let it stick, but it ain't sticking. I personally think you might have to take Kemp out. You might have to put Robbo there. You might have to put Robbo as the 10, and you might have to change those wide men as well. Chem's been great. I think Chem defensively for me is much better than I thought he was being. But when Phoenix came on, he got a hell of a rocket from Butler and Good at one point when we conceded a corner, I think, and he got the rollicking of his life because he didn't do his defensive work, and that's why he's not playing.
Yeah. It's the thing is, this is not like excluding the trophy, because we all know that they're pointless games, but we've scored 1 goal in the last 5 games. Like there is it shouldn't take 5 games for them to think, oh, we might have to change this up now. Like there's got to be more look. You got to look at those games more and think, okay, look, we're having problems here. We couldn't break Lincoln down. We couldn't really break Bradford down. That was the only game we've scored in that 5 I mentioned. Chesterfield in the Cup, similar story. Reading in the league again, similar story. Like at some point, you've got to I feel like, you know, after 2 or 3 games, you've got to start looking at, okay, is this just one of those things? Is this just we've been unlucky? I mean, the Reading game probably should have scored. I think Gassan should have scored that opportunity that he had. You know, there's opportunities you can look back to, but Saturday, I can't even think of one opportunity. That I think Kemp had one in the second half, but aside from that, it all just felt
Lincoln
a bit
was
too predictable.
Lincoln was no shots on target, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad performance, but it wasn't a bad defeat in some respects. I thought I wasn't there, but from what I gathered, the performance was there. Bradford wasn't terrible.
That was just a horrible game, really, wasn't it? Like, neither side has a huge amount of like quality anyway, and it was just a battle more than anything. The Bradford game, it's very difficult to compare that to.
You've got to find ways.
Doncaster.
There's gonna be a lot of games. There's gonna be a lot of games like that, especially down our place. If teams going to come here and set up in a particular way, like Donny did, then you've got to find ways to break that down. And this has been our problem for, like, we know that if we're playing against a team that want to play their own way, we'll pick them off. We did that against Derby a few years ago. I remember at home where we absolutely battered them because they just came here thinking they just came here thinking, oh, we'll just play this lot off the park.
Well,
I think teams are getting wise to it.
I think a massive difference in that iteration of Stevenage and this iteration of Stevenage is teams at this level have had time to sort of go, all right, that's what they're about. You know, we sort of mixed it up a little bit early on in the season. We weren't playing football like we were in March. You know, in August and September, it was you could see progression. There was clear progression. It wasn't so far removed that we've not been able, we've slipped back, haven't we? Let's be fair. Look, we've slipped back into what we were doing towards the tail end of last season a little bit too much. But like there was progression from how we were playing. It was just it moved on. You thought the squad we've got is more capable now, and the core of the squad that remained have had more time to work with Revs and work on what we want to do, and we're moving on, which feels great. But I think also it's not so far removed that teams can't go, okay, well that's what they're doing now, and teams are looking at us, and in their post-match press conferences, managers are saying that they've been working on what to do to disrupt us and to stop us being able to play the way we want to play, and it's working at the moment. And it feels a bit weird having opposition managers that are saying things like that, because you used to it just being Stevenage. It's just Stevenage, and that was very much they're very much the clubs like Derby. They were coming here. Their fans were like, "What even is a Stevenage?" And they were coming here expecting to walk away with the easiest 3 points of the season, and left here with their tails between their legs. And it doesn't happen anymore because teams have gone, "Oh, all right. No, we need to take them seriously." Lincoln did it, but Lincoln were probably one of the first teams to really do it well last season when they came here and just made us look silly. And teams are doing it well. I mean, Doncaster, I don't want to sort of unduly be disrespectful, but they're 19th. They got 19 points. Like they haven't won since the middle of September. Yeah. They're not a great side.
I think there's a key difference between sticking to the same principles and playing the same system. And I think back to our promotion year from League Two, and generally it was the back three, but occasionally we'd switch to a 4 and we'd play 4-3-3 and we'd get higher up the pitch. But our principles were still the same of being very direct with the ball. Yeah. But having that change in shape gave a different dynamic to how we were playing that did cause other teams problems. Or we'd go into games going, I wonder if he's going to play the 3, if he's going to play the 4. And that gave you another headache as an opposition manager, not knowing, yes, it's going to be direct football, but are we going to be playing against wing backs or are we going to be playing against a back 4?
I don't think there was that many instances. Maybe out of the 46, maybe there were 10 where he went.
Not in League Two. In League, when we came up into League One, Evans didn't seem to be able to. It almost felt like he didn't know which to settle with. We'd start quite a lot of games. He'd play a diamond, and a lot of us were not very happy about that. When we were like, no, get back to the 3, and then we'd go back to 3 at the back. We hadn't played it for a while, and it was like, oh, okay, well, maybe this is why we're not playing it.
He's aware. He was aware of Sweeney and Piergiani's limitations, and I hate to say it because they two of our finest centre backs, but they've gone from League Two to League One. Pidge is what he is. We know what he is, and it's a bit more difficult.
Why we signed him to do that.
When you've only got Dan Sweeney to back you up, rather than Dan Sweeney and Terence Van Kooten or Dan Sweeney and Michael Boswick, so
yep.
But that's a similar story now, isn't it? When you look at, Charlie Good's played at a higher
really
level, and he's not a bad footballer by any stretch, but he's not the centre half who's going to sit there and want to have the ball constantly at the back.
No, I think Charlie does an awful lot of what Terence used to do.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't do the stuff on the ball as well as TVC did.
No,
we've really missed that, haven't we?
He does sort of sweep up some of the mess.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm not really comfortable saying it, but
but you are right. You are. He covers like I know. Please, I know I've been known for digging Luther a lot in the past. I think he's quality, but Charlie Good has really stepped into that sort of side of defence, and there's a lot of times when Luther gets caught upfield, and you don't worry because there's Charlie.
Yeah. And I thought Luther was a bit shaky at Reading, and he'd obviously been. He's
not the best month, is he, Luther?
Well, he's just come back from injury, isn't he?
Been a bit in and out, and obviously, with injuries and what have you. But
defensively, I thought in front of him, Robbo was all right. I thought Robbo was all right defensively, but he ain't never going to go past the player and get to the byline and whip it in, is he?
No, Robbo's. I've always said. For me, his best position is in that 10 where he can just go and cause havoc. I'd rather him in the team than out of it if it means you have to put him wide. But I do think you sacrifice a lot by doing that. And I do
take Kempy out though, Greg.
Well, I think that's. To be honest with you, I don't hate that at the moment. I don't feel like he's playing his best football. I don't feel like he's getting. I mean, look, Saturday aside, Saturday was horrendous for him because conditions-wise just did not suit his style whatsoever. He was just getting bullied off the ball every opportunity. Broadbent did a bit of a job on him. But I think I wouldn't mind sitting him out for a game or two and trying to change it up a little bit.
I think you're right. I think Robbo has to go in that 10 and we have to have a different dynamic. Don't know if Jamie's going to play tomorrow. I don't know about Gas. I don't think he's trained very much since Reading, but nobody really...
Good.
I think especially if you've not got that striker up there, Robbo in the 10 is better than having Kemp in there, in the sense of having someone that will be a bit more of a focal point in that central area. Because Reedy and Ahadme, although Ahadme's quality hasn't shown at all, he is a bit of a focal point. He's something to aim for, and more often than not, it's not coming off. But there's something there to work off of. And that's where Kemp normally is best, when the ball's dropping in those half spaces. He gets onto it and he does something with it. It feels like if you've not got a striker, you need Robbo in there to be a bit more direct, a bit more aggressive on the front foot against the defence.
Yeah. But then what do you do? I don't know what you do right-hand side then. You don't put Kempy there because he tried that.
Put Chem there and put Phoenix on the other side?
I don't think
you have to. You have to, because the only other option to put sort of high and wide is you either put maybe Young on the left and then Kem on the right. No, but I don't want.
You would have said that a week ago, would you?
I don't want to see that. Or the other one's Malcolm, who isn't a wide player, is he? He's a man you want playing off of the last defender, so you can slip a ball through, and he's got the wheels to get on the end of it. But that's not the football we play. So I don't know what he does in this squad really. He doesn't fit the makeup of the team. It's not knock on him. It's just not that sort of player. I don't really know Jovan Malcolm. But
I don't think he was bought to be a regular. I think he was bought for the future.
No, but just the type of player he is. He's not a lone striker, is he? You want him up there in a 2 where you've got a target man who's going to knock the ball on for him. It's not a knock on him at all. It's just I don't really understand how he fits in unless you're going to try and convert him to be a nippy wide man who cuts in and has a shot. But he's a long way off that. So I don't know what you do if you're going to drop Kemp, because Kemp going out wide is worse than putting Young out wide. I just think you lose him. I haven't seen him play well wide yet.
I just don't think Revs fancies Young anyway. Like, obviously, there's
I mean, we know he doesn't fancy Young.
Yeah, but I think you could see that when Labala barely got a kick the entire time he was on the pitch, and it still took him 75 minutes or whatever it was to make the change and bring on Malcolm and Young. He waited too long for that because I just don't think he had any confidence.
Didn't want to make the change.
Yeah, and he didn't have any confidence that was going to make the impact that it didn't end up making anyway. But I do. Going into the Peterborough game, Pidge is out suspended, which is going to be a miss. So I assume Sweeney will
Freestone,
maybe Freestone.
Yeah. No, you're not going to put Sweeney on the left when you've got left-footed Freestone, are you?
True, but it'll be interesting to see how Butler, whether he can do 2 games in a week. Because, I mean, he's not exactly played a huge amount of minutes this season.
I mean, you've got to play him. Either that or, is Saxon early alive? I'm not sure.
Well, it's either that or you do play Sweeney and Good
we
at
have,
the back.
We have played Good as a left centre-back before. I mean, I think of games in the Cup that we played Good and Sweeney.
It ain't going to be Sweeney and Good.
No, I don't think it should be.
It can't be. Must be Freestone, surely.
It'll be Freestone. I would rather play Freestone in place of Pidge, and then if Butler can't go, play Phoenix left back.
Don't know about that.
I think Butler will be all right. He just wasn't playing because Freestone was in good form, as opposed to I think it was a fitness issue. So if anything, I think Butler will be.
I don't think he's had a knock or anything, Butler. I think he's been right.
It's just one of those. Is like, but Butler's always had that thing where he's going to come out and he's got to keep moving. He had a nasty injury back in the day, didn't he? And a result is he's got to keep moving, otherwise he ain't going to be able to play.
He hasn't played. He hasn't played.
It's just good to give him rests.
He just hasn't played consistent minutes this season, and playing 2 games in a week, it'll be interesting to see how he gets through that if he does start on Tuesday.
I think we'll get through it all right. My concern would be that if we got to play him Saturday, and then again,
But I think
Gianni only misses one, but then of course Charlie might pick up his 5th tomorrow night, and he's out for Saturday. But then that's easy because you bring Sweeney back.
But that's okay. But that's okay. That's manageable. And again, I wouldn't even be. I was going to say, like I said, maybe put Patterson there, but maybe chuck Luther over to the left and play Pattenden right back, or chuck Pattenden out there. Like, you've got loads of options. Say that of all the things, missing Pidge, not that concerned about. I think if they're going to hit us, it's going to be. I mean, it's probably going to be down their left. With Lisby, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be too dissimilar to Doncaster in some respects with how they press and how they come and attack us. So
they will, because they're going to.
They haven't got that aerial threat, have they?
Maybe they're going to batter They're going to batter the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
They're going to be popping shots at him left, right, centre. Anything else
we might
from
have Phillips and Louis Thompson in there, and they'll be blocking everything that they throw. So
I wouldn't mind Phillips Thompson too. Actually,
that's hoping that Phillips is fit and able to play.
Yeah.
No, if he's fit to play for Trinidad, he's had 4 or 5 days off. And he's fit to play for the team that pays his wages.
Well, I think he picked up an injury, didn't he? On internationals, that's why he wasn't in the squad. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's always missed the game after, hasn't he? When he's come back from Trinidad.
I never got an impression from the conversation we had after the game that he was in. I never got an impression he was injured.
Because that was my only nervousness when you then see Orford's not there, then Houghton gets injured, and it's okay. So actually, we're down to Harvey White, and potentially we didn't know what state Louis was in, and obviously he got through the game all right. And then
did I read in the Daily Donnelly that Orford's gone back?
Yeah,
I've seen a few West Ham pages have said it as well now.
The treatment they've shown that Stevenage have shown Orford, we should never lend him a player again.
I mean, to be honest, in his last game, he didn't look like he'd been with us the entire season anyway.
Yeah, he got the Christian Hedgie syndrome in the end. Just brought in, did nothing, walked out the door.
Yeah, I will.
Mind you, Ashley Baines didn't do too badly on that one either, did he?
No, that's true.
He made it last the whole season.
Oh, Basie. What a legend. All right, look, we're going to move on because there's really nothing more to say about Saturday. I mean, I'm amazed we managed to drag it on for 30 minutes, if I'm honest. So we're gonna play a little game of Who the Fuck Am I then? I've gone back to this one, Dean, because it's sort of tried and tested, and it's one you're familiar with. I don't want to throw a different.
I didn't say I was ever any good at it.
Not that I've been doing revision, but I had a conversation yesterday just around random Stevenage players that we could remember off the top of our heads. And so, obviously, from the amount of quizzes we've done and like the tenable round that I put together of nationalities,
you're actually
loads of random names just come into my head.
Right, the first player we're going with started his career at Charlton Athletic in 1996.
It's quite old then.
He went on loan in 99 to Gillingham and then to Reading.
Nick.
Go on.
Laurie Wilson?
No.
Way too early.
It's way too early.
It was 96, so I'm not getting it anyway.
He then had a loan move to QPR in 2001. Before going back and playing regularly for Charlton. Then 2005, he went on loan to Norwich City. 2006 to Derby County, before making a permanent move in 2007 to Colchester United. And in 2008, he made another permanent move to Ipswich Town, before being loaned straight back to Colchester United. He then spent a year on loan at Millwall before making a permanent move to Leyton Orient, where he was there for 4 seasons, playing 111 games and scoring 46 times.
No, it's not him.
I love that Greg's writing these down so we can review this. As
in the 2015 season, he came to Stevenage and made 3 appearances.
Oh, please. Was this one of Wesley's?
What season was that? Sorry, he was on
2015.
I think that was Teddy then.
Might
was it 15, 16? Or was it 14, 15?
That eradicated was Sheringham era.
In 2015, he made a permanent move after the end of his deal with Orient to Barnet. Then went on to Whitehawk. Then spent 4 years at Cray Valley Paper Mills.
Oh, the old paper mills.
Before ending his career in 2022 at VCD Athletic. That's Vickers, Crayford and Dartford Athletic Football Club.
Oh, I think I know who it is, and but I don't know his name.
The only person I had in my head is... Describe him. The only person I had in my head is definitely not, because you didn't list Rushden and Diamonds. That was Simeon Jackson. But
yeah, no.
He also, between 2002 and 2004, played 10 times for Jamaica, scoring 2 goals.
Does his name begin with a J?
No.
Oh.
Play for Jamaica?
I've done it.
I know who it is. I know who it is.
Greg, is it Jamal Loza? Or Loser?
Nope.
No. I know who it is. Can I come back in now?
Yeah, of course you can.
Was it Joby McAnuff?
No.
No.
He never scored that many goals. Don't be silly.
It was Kevin Lisby.
Kevin Lisby.
Oh, that's why you've done it. I was wondering, why has he chosen someone that's had 3
I've got a
appearances
point
for us?
Because we're playing his lad on Tuesday night. I assume.
I'm sure he played at Exeter. One of his appearances, I'm sure, was at Exeter.
I would have said he played more than 3 games for some reason.
I'll be honest, when I picked his name, because what I do to pick the players, I go on the list of every player ever on Boro Guide. I pick 3 out of the list, and I just go to their Wikipedia from there. So I didn't pay any. It doesn't always mean they've played much for us.
Yeah. It's the Charlton. Yeah, Charlton. I was thinking of Jason Yule. And
okay. Yeah, no,
he'd have been around that same.
He would have, yeah. Right, the second player on the list Started his career in 2007 at Swedish side Anga IF. That's a horrible pronunciation. It's ANGE, Anga. Played 6 times and scored twice. Oh, Greg looks like he wants to jump on it. Before moving to Histon in 2008, where he played once. Then he moved again in 2008 to Barton Rovers, where he played twice. Before making a move again in 2008 to Bury, where he played 66 times, scoring 17 goals.
What, Bury St Edmunds or
No, Bury Town.
Since when did Bury sign players from Barton Rovers?
Oh, I know, wild. Then in 2010, he moved to Colchester United, playing 41 times. He had a loan that season at Chelmsford City. And then a loan at Histon before moving back to Histon in 2013 on a permanent deal. Then he went to Southend in 2013. Spent 6 years at Southend, playing 186 times.
Oh.
2019, he went to Lincoln, where he made 0 appearances before going on loan to Cambridge United.
I knew that there'd be a Cambridge in there. They always sign players from Histon.
Then in the same season, 2020, he moved to Stevenage, making 0 appearances. Before in the same season, moving to Stevenage on a permanent deal, where he stayed for 2 seasons, making 74 appearances.
It's what's his name?
Yeah.
Ben Coker. Ben Coker.
It is Ben Coker.
Oh. Started in Sweden.
Started in Sweden. Yeah.
Nice.
His youth career was Cambridge United and then Northampton Town, but we don't care about that.
I was trying to think of what possible Swedish players have we had.
And the final player on our list today started his career in 2009 at QPR before 2 loan moves to Yeovil Town in 2011 and then 2012. He also, in 2012, spent on time on loan at Preston North End. Then in 2013, he spent time at Stevenage on loan, paying a minus 6 games.
Is it Michael Doughty?
It's not Michael Doughty. 2013, he had a loan at Carlisle United. A well-travelled loanee, this lad. Before 2014, spending the season on loan at Gillingham, where he then made a permanent move. Spending 5 years there, playing 192 games.
Max Power.
Max Power. Are you sure that's his surname?
It's very close.
What's his name?
Nick.
Greg will be in before if.
Oh, am I not frozen out?
Surname.
You got frozen out.
When did you get frozen out?
You said Michael Doughty.
I said
No,
Michael
you are
Doughty.
right.
He's playing for Bradford. What's his name?
No,
Is it not
Nick, go on.
Max Amer.
It is Max Amer.
Max
Right.
Amer. Big chest and big thighs. That's how Steve Watkins described him on his debut. I'll never forget that.
Right, I need to just go to Boro Guide because we've got a tie and I can't be having this. So I've got to get another one.
Give me half a point for Max.
No.
Max Amer.
Yeah. Max Power.
Max Power, yeah, definitely never played for Stevenage.
Who is the Bradford bloke I'm thinking of then?
That is Max Power, I think you're thinking of.
Yeah.
He's at Bradford now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, tiebreaker rounds.
Can I have one from the 90s?
Greg, you've got no points, right?
I have no points.
So you're out. Actually, no, fuck it, you're in.
Let's have a freeway tie.
It's worth 3. Yeah, it's worth 3.
I have opened 2 spare players, just in case the inevitable happens. And we go to the absolute shit
I can't
house.
believe I named a player that's never played for us.
I'm very happy that you named a player that had never played for us, Dean. I'm not gonna lie.
Hold on, Max Amer definitely played for us.
But he said Max Power.
Never did.
So the first tiebreaker round started his career in 2000. Chesham United, before moving to Stevenage Borough in 2001.
I was 2.
Yeah, it sucks to be you, mate. While at Stevenage, he spent a little time at Billericay on loan. And then he made a permanent move in 2003 to Yedding. 2005.
How many games did he play for us?
25.
Greg. Is it DJ Campbell?
It was DJ Campbell, yeah. Oh, excellent. Freeway tie.
Where did we sign him from?
Chesham.
Chesham.
That ain't right. We signed DJ. I might be thinking of Errol Telemark. Same kind of player. I thought it was Hayes. Hayes and Yedding he came from.
Hayes. So DJ went to Hayes after.
Yeah.
That's when he got spotted before he got. Was it Brentford he went to?
In Brentford after that, yeah.
Yeah. He scored in the cup.
So,
this is Blackpool DJ Campbell.
Yes.
Yeah, that DJ Campbell.
So the
Doubling to his friends.
The second tiebreaker started his career.
You should have just won, and now I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, you should.
Max Power. It's all Max Power's fault.
Started his career in 2015 at Nottingham Forest.
I'm not a new one.
Look, I gave you one that you should have picked.
Nick.
I've got to bring Nick back into it.
Nick.
After the first one you did.
Tyler Walker.
It was Tyler Walker. Well done, you won.
We had him on loan from Forest, didn't we?
We did, yeah. He had 6 games at Burton before having 8 games.
Dean is fuming.
I'm just going to pop up for half an hour and piss off him.
I didn't even have a chance to say Robin Shroot for Pat.
Yeah.
Good old Shroot.
Popped up on my memories the other day, that actual thing.
I did it. Excellent. Right, look. So let's have a look around. Have a look around the league, shall we?
We don't need to. We just can look at the top 6 or 7 and go, nobody wants to win.
That's a great point. I'm just going to quickly run through the table. I'll be really quick about it. Vale are bottom, Plymouth aren't, Blackpool aren't, Peterborough aren't, but they're near. Although Peterborough 3 wins in the last 4, so they're definitely on the march. Exeter, Doncaster, Reading, Northampton, Leyton Orient, Wigan, Burn, Mansfield, Luton, Rotherham, and Wickham up to 10th.
How did Luton get on at the weekend?
Lost 5-0, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Got absolutely battered by Barnsley. Who were in 9th. Then you've got AFC Wimbledon in 8th, Huddersfield in 7th, Borough in 6th, Bolton 5th, Stockport 4th, Lincoln 3rd, Bradford 2nd, and Cardiff top of the pile. It's really muddy up the top end of the league at the moment because there's loads of teams with not the full 17 games played. So Cardiff have played 15, Bradford 16, Lincoln have played all 17. Stockport on 16, Bolton on 16, Stevenage on 14, Huddersfield on 15, and Wimbledon in 8th are on 16. Barnsley, also worth noting, in 9th are also on 14, like we are.
If you look at Wickham on Saturday at 3 o'clock, Wickham were 4 points off the bottom. They won, and now they're 4 points off the playoffs.
The top, yeah. Still early days, though, isn't it? Still early days. 1, it's still early days, and 2, you're right in saying that no one in the top 6 wants to win games. Cardiff's last 6, loss, win, win, loss, win. Bradford Their last 6 draw, loss, draw, and they're second still.
Yeah.
That's fucking outrageous.
I was looking at 3 o'clock at 2:30 on Saturday, and the 2 teams top of the current form last 6 is Burton and Rotherham.
Yeah, Peterborough are probably up there now as well, aren't they? Getting up there at least.
That's the frustrating part of the last few games, though, is you beat Bradford. If you go and nick that game, which, I'm not saying we necessarily dominated it, should have.
Probably
could have won it, definitely.
Draw against Lincoln.
And then but even if you just beat Donny on Saturday, that's 4 points. You're top of the league, another 2 points clear with those games in hand.
Yeah.
And that's the frustrating part of the last few games. Whilst it's been quite nice to see other teams around us faltering and we've been able to keep in touch, it's like, well, actually, it's, if anything, missed opportunity.
Other than Charlie Good just being superb, one of the only positives of the last month is that everybody else is also shit.
Yeah. But if you're Rebs during that last 2 and a bit weeks, you're fuming, aren't you? You're sitting home.
Absolutely, Stephen.
We should be top. We should be top.
Everyone in that dressing room should be mortified, should be so pissed off with themselves. Like, there's no doubt about it. But I mean, you just look like Lincoln, therefore, win, loss, draw, loss, win, loss. Stockport, 4 wins and then loss. Bolton, win, loss, win, draw. I mean, they're probably looking the best out of the top 6 at the moment. Having both of those Stockport defeats, to 3-0 at home against Luton and 3-0 away at Peterborough. Those are really dreadful losses for them. They're a lot better than
Who's
that.
the lad that's missing? Norwood.
Yeah.
And they're basically a one-man team, according to.
No, but then they shouldn't be, though, because you look at their team on paper. They've got some very, very good League One players. It's weird that they're struggling so much.
Yeah.
Stevenage, win, loss, draw. Huddersfield, win, loss, draw. Win. Wimbledon, win, draw, win, loss. It's a mess. It's a real mess at the top. So, like I said earlier, we could go top on Tuesday. Nickel, we shit out the shittest 1-0 win you've ever seen. We won there 1-0, and I think Francois Zoko scored a goal. That was a day that who was it? Peter Hartley sat on the ball in the box and then just like refused to get off it, and Peterborough fans went absolutely batshit. Absolutely shithouse that 1-0 win. Do that again Tuesday. Nick it. Absolute daylight. Well, floodlight robbery. Let's call it. And you're top of the pile. And sometimes you need those ugly, dirty 1-0 wins when you probably should have. You're lucky to come out of there with a point, let alone 3. Nicking one of those can sometimes be a bit of a turning point and give you that momentum, just that little kick to start getting yourselves back at it and get going again. Because if you do that and you go, do you know what, we've had a horrible October and we're fucking top with games in hand, like, you're laughing, aren't you? You're absolutely laughing.
It's like going and getting a 2-1 win away in Burslem when you play absolutely awfully, and that felt like a turning point for us as a team this year. That I think after that game we were talking about how we were finding ways to win games, which we hadn't done for a while.
Yeah, it's the main difference from last season, isn't it? There have been 2 or 3 games this season. Port Vale.
So am I right in thinking Kyrell Lisby is obviously Kevin's son, who also played for Craven Valley Paper Mills?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
And Colchester.
Didn't he play with his dad? I'm pretty sure.
I think in 2024 he played 4 games for Cray Valley.
Maybe not.
Was Kevin Lisby the manager at the time? Player manager. Yeah. But yeah, no, we go top on Saturday. We're on Tuesday night. We're absolutely laughing, having had a horrible month of football.
I think you need to win on Tuesday. Just not necessarily like going top is a nice added bonus. I see it as you've just got to kind of stop the rot a little bit, because whilst we haven't, whilst we're not getting results, you lose on Tuesday. You go away to Wigan, which whilst Wigan I don't think are great this year, it's never easy to go there. Home to Cardiff.
We've got a well good record against Wigan. What are you talking about?
It's still never easy.
We're their bogey team.
Yeah,
it's still never
It's
a
tough,
nice
it's
place to go
It's
to.
a tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough.
But then you've got
you're right,
Cardiff.
yeah.
Cardiff at home on
Yeah.
a Tuesday night,
Yeah.
the 9th, and then you've got Stockport away. Like, those games are tough. And then you've got Burton, who at the moment are one of the more informed teams in the league. So
they'll be in their shit patch by then.
Possibly, but it's one of those ones. Certainly Wigan,
ours.
Cardiff, Stockport. Those 3 games are not easy. So it kind of
Yeah.
feels like, I'm not going to say must win. That sounds ridiculous, but it feels like you need to go and get a result. And by a result,
Isn't it weird though that you've got Cardiff twice in a month, midweek, home and away?
Yeah.
Didn't they rearrange the first one?
Yes.
Yeah,
but it's very weird though, isn't it? I hate it when that happens, because it's never like for like. It's never exact, is it? But like, I like that you play the teams that you play early in October, in sort of August, September. You usually get them sort of late December, early January, maybe late January. So it sort of roughly follows a similar kind of schedule, and I like the symmetry of that. I find that pleasing. So having the same team in the league twice a month, absolutely revolting.
Yeah. I have to say, I think that Wickham are going to be in and amongst it with Duff. I think he's starting to put his own little stamp on things. I saw that
they look very solid, haven't they?
Stoke under 21 managers joined his backroom team today. He's a good manager, Duff, isn't he? And so long as he stays there, then I see them being in the playoff hunt pretty quickly. Huddersfield seem to have won 1 or 2. So they're back in amongst it as well.
Huddersfield keep losing games.
Yeah, they do.
Like weird. Like they lost 3-0 to Wickham, didn't they? Huddersfield. 2-1.
But then they went 3-0 up within minutes on Saturday, didn't they? And you kind of think they've won. That's 3 on the bounce. They won, but the players that they've got. They're at Luton on tomorrow night, and then home to Wimbledon, away to Lincoln, away to Cardiff. So it ain't easy. So you can kind of see that they've got to be consistent. But that
is one thing I think
nobody is in this league unless look at Rotherham and Burton are putting the best run together in there.
Yeah, Port Vale are consistently shit.
Yeah. I'm thinking. Me and Steve are talking about that. We might look up our old friend on Twitter again, Treacle.
That is one thing.
Do it when we're in a bit better form, though, Dean.
Yeah,
that is one thing I think with this table. There's a lot of teams that are below us that will pick some results up. So I think after the next 3 games, you could be anywhere from top of the league to 16th in the table.
Yeah,
I mean,
if not even lower.
Yeah, it's a great league for a neutral to be keeping an eye on, isn't it? Like
fucking nonsense.
Yeah, it's one of the more fun leagues to be following. But
one thing I have seen
being in amongst it.
One thing I have seen, which is quite fun, is there's a few like subreddits where people sort of talk about their hackers a lot. People are properly avoiding League One because nothing goes the way that anybody's expecting this season. But no one's consistent enough to ever bank on. No one, like people are going mad because the bookies are really winning big this season off of the back of League One because no one's getting anything right.
Yeah,
that's fun.
It is really unpredictable. I mean, going back to that conversation of Stockport missing Norwood, I think with the league has stepped up in terms of you're seeing players at the level that you never normally would have seen playing at League One level, and Norwood's an example of it. But what that means is the teams that are employing them is the minute they lose them, the quality drop is so significant in what their backup option is that it often disrupts a lot of how they play. And I think Stockport are feeling that, not having Norwood in the middle of the park, and we'll see it across some of the other big teams that they'll lose 1 or 2 key players. I mean, I think Ruben Colwell got injured for Cardiff at the weekend, and we'll see if he's longer term or if that's just a niggle. But he's been one of their best players this year, and you can see how losing a player like that can completely derail your form in a league like this when people were picking up points that you really aren't expecting, and you can tumble very quickly as much as you can climb.
Well, I was a different league, but I was listening to the MK reporter Paul Dixon on Saturday down the earphones, and all 3 of their strikers were out. They didn't have. Was it Lecco had to come back in? Who's been on the periphery and then got sent off. which is hilarious. But yeah, all three of their main big men are out, and we've been quite lucky with that the injuries and suspensions haven't all come together. And as I said earlier on, thank God for Louis Thompson, because that he could actually sort of turn us around a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if Louis was out, Jordan's issue is long. I mean, I would be amazed, even if it's a knock and he's all right. I'd be amazed if Houghton starts tomorrow.
Yeah, I would be.
If Houghton was out, Thompson still wasn't back. Phillips is out.
I don't think Houghton was bad. I think it was a precaution more than anything.
Yeah. Who would you play tomorrow? Like if he's out, if Phillips is out, Thompson's out.
I'd leave Harvey out. He's looked leggy for me, and
what I'm saying is everybody else is injured. It's Harvey and Doherty.
You'd end up going Doherty or Sweeney has played centre holding midfielder at Forest Green, and can't remember where else.
What did Nick just say then? I didn't quite hear it.
Sweeney played in a holding midfield role for Forest Green.
I thought that's what you said.
Yeah, he did. I'm not saying that's the ideal. It's far from it. But...
He'd be sent off after 25 minutes if that happened.
Oh God!
Or he'd have conceded a goal.
Yeah. Well, he'll do a step over, just about keep hold of it, try and poke it to someone next to him, get robbed, and then chop the man down, and he'd be off.
That would be our alternative midfielder, apart from maybe Doherty going in there, but. He genuinely would be our next option. Neil
Metcalf has been on at Revs to get Doherty in there for weeks, if not months, and it falls on.
I'd rather see Doherty than Orford.
Yeah, me too.
He's been in around the squad for the last couple of years now, hasn't he?
Doherty, I don't think he's had a couple of games where he's been involved and hasn't really shown up. But he had that performance against Birmingham, was it in some sort of cup last year?
Yeah.
Excellent.
One
of the better players.
And I didn't think he was brilliant last Monday, but I don't think anyone was that night. They nicked a win to get them through to the next round. And that team that they were up against, Merson. When they walked out, they looked like a ragtag bunch of footballers. And I said to Neil, this could be 5 or 6. Like, you couldn't even see the knees of one of the players because his shorts were so low and his socks were so high. And he was about 5'2". And he was one of the bigger lads, but they were just obviously lads that had been released from all over South London. And Billy, what's his name, who used to play for QPR, has just put them all together, and they were fantastic.
They're a very good non-league side, aren't they?
Big them up enough, and had they gone through, we could have had no complaints at that, because they were just like, their athleticism and their running was just incredible. But but Ryan weren't great that night, I didn't think, and he didn't really get in it. And his time will come.
But for who? That's what tends to happen with our youth.
Colchester.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well. But we're going to have an under-21 side at some point, aren't we?
That's got to happen.
Absolutely. We are reaching the point where it's. I think.
But interesting.
It was that. Nick tweeted him after our last episode, didn't he? Just randomly, because I couldn't remember who it was.
I've forgotten it now.
He's ended up at Reading. We were a bit surprised that they just got released, but it's because he's too old for the youth team.
I do think that. I mean, did you read Phil's program notes on Saturday? It was all about costs and how expensive it is to run a football club these days. And then, interestingly, did you see the Cambridge release that was like, the owner, Barry, isn't going to redevelop the ground because, of the same thing, really. And the return on investment,
there isn't any.
It's shy, isn't it? And if you're a 65 to 70-year-old businessman and your return on investment is 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, you're not.
That's what you do.
You're not owning a football club to make money, are you? Like, like Phil knows that the only way you're going to get return on investment is by buying and selling players or trusting that we're going to have a cup run. That's the only way this football club
makes money. That's what I see with Philip Marshall, why they signed him. He'll have a good season and probably be a £100,000 goalkeeper in next season, or £200,000. I don't know. But,
I'd like to think more than a good chunk more than £100,000. If we sell him for £100,000, something's seriously gone wrong.
That's why it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen with Harvey White. We talked about this a few weeks ago in terms of contract situation for Harvey.
Yeah, I wouldn't be all that surprised. there's two scenarios. Well, there's three, I suppose, but there's two scenarios that I would expect. Shortly before the January transfer window, we reveal that he signed on for another year.
Yeah.
Or January we sell him. Those are the two that I think are the more likely.
Is he a championship player?
I was going to say, is anyone really going to be in for him at the moment?
No, but I tell you what, if I was Cardiff, Stockport, Bolton, Huddersfield, I wouldn't bulk up having a dig on a player like Harvey, because I think I've always thought Harvey, even when we weren't seeing him very often, and when we did see him, he was a bit sort of flat and didn't really put himself about. And we were like, oh, okay, maybe Steve Evans did the right thing in really easing him in slowly, didn't he? Because he was well off it when he first started. But once he started playing a little bit more regularly, he looks to me to be one of those players that I think if the plays you've got around him are of a higher quality, he's just naturally going to step up a little bit and he'll take a natural leap. There's loads of players at this level that do that. There's loads of players that you look at. I can't even think of any off the top of my head, which sort of doesn't really prove my point very well. There's players that we were playing against in League Two. I'm like, he's fucking useless. But then somehow they end up at a League One side.
Yeah.
And then they end up at a championship side. And you're like, what's happened there? Yeah. And then suddenly they're like, actually, they're pretty good. What's happened there? And there's not really much. There's obviously been development of the player themselves, but just by playing with better players, their level just comes flying up.
I think the problem is that I think those kind of clubs are going to be buying for get into the championship as quickly as possible. I don't think Harvey White's the player you buy to do that in this year. I think he's for sure, if you're looking at to buy a centre mid to be a rotation option, to be your starting League One midfielder in the next 2-3 years, then maybe so. But these clubs are looking to buy a player, not interested in where they're going to be playing next year, but to see them get into the championship again.
But they're not. Yeah, I get that. But there's not many signings that happen like that in January, really, are there? Not in League One. There's not a lot of signings in January that are season-defining signings, are there? Most of them are.
So the clubs try
we need backup. No, of course, but it's such a crapshoot, isn't it? We're going into January. What? Really, probably wanting 2 strikers, 1 striker certainly, maybe 2, and we know how difficult it is.
I think whoever, if anyone ever came for Harvey White, they're signing because they think he's going to improve what they've currently got, rather than we'll sign him, plug him away, play him for a few games, because he's 24 now. Like he's not. Yeah. He's if he's 21 years old, I'd say you could probably go and sign him, stick him in your under 21s, give him a few games here and there, whatever. But he's actually at that age. Yeah, kind of. But he's at that age now where actually whoever, if anyone was to go and sign him in January or even in the summer, I'm sure first and foremost will want to go somewhere where he's going to play regular football. But also that team is not getting a 20, 21-year-old, again, a 24-year-old midfielder who's played 70, 80 games now.
I think there's a lot of teams at the top end of League One that are capable of paying him a much bigger wage than we are that will play him plenty.
Top end of League One, I agree. I think Championship, you're probably looking at teams that are probably struggling down the wrong end of the Championship you might think about. But then is he the sort of player that you want for a relegation dogfight? I guess
he's not going to pull you out of the ashes, is he?
No.
He's not that kind of player.
You look at sort of a QPR or someone like that, but you can't really see him being in that bottom half, can you? I don't know. I mean, it's that opens a whole new can of worms about what we pay our players, I think, and what our budget is. And some of them players are on decent money now. There's no two ways about it. They are. We know that Jordan Roberts and Jamie Reid have signed new deals. We know that a new deal means a pay rise. So it doesn't really mean anything apart from that. Like with Revs' 5-year deal, his get out clause for Phil will probably be much less than 5 years. I think people think that if Revs was to get the bullet, he'd get 5 years money, but that ain't going to be the case, is it? No. So it's just an excuse to say we're hanging on to you in case because you're doing well and someone might want to do a
Championship struggler. If we can turn things around, we're top with maybe points to spare come January. Championship struggler might go Revs.
Everything will be in Phil's favour in Alex's deal.
That's why I was quite surprised he signed it though, because it's one of those things where it's like, if he's got an agreement, then he'll get he'll get I don't know 12 months of money or whatever it might be if things went south.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I kind of feel like
he's probably on a lot more than he was this time last April.
Probably.
2 and a bit, maybe. He's probably gone from an assistant coach's salary on X to he went from X to Y and now he's on Z. So you ain't going to turn that down, though, are you?
No, true.
Whether it's 5 years or not, and there's probably a clause in there for Alex, but it won't be as favourable for what it is for Phil.
Well, you know full well as soon as they announced 5 years, there's a reason why they announce any length of contract, right? And there was there was a player recently signed a new deal, and was it player? I can't remember. There's someone else. I'm pretty sure. Was it Kemp? That was it. 3 year deal, whatever it was.
3 year deal.
But they never announced that.
And that Kemp deal was an advert to the rest of the football league. If you want him, it's going to cost you. Yeah. It's the only reason why you announce the link for the deal or any of it, isn't it?
I mean, part of it because we all really knew if Phil let someone sign a new deal, it was only ever going to be a 1+1. If they were lucky, and that was just the model that we were running with. So you almost
I think Phil's been quite open in how much that model's failed in the past and has had to change to secure the type of players that are gonna be the ones to drag us forward. The ones that you want to move us forward aren't the ones that are signing only 1+1 deals.
It's a double-edged sword, though, isn't it? Because you then go and get Gary Smith signed Lee Hills on a 3-year deal, and then it's like Jesus Christ. So it's one of those things that I don't think for a club of our size you're gonna have some stinkers occasionally like that, but it's about. With the right players getting it right.
Graham was a massive fan of 1+1s. He wouldn't want any. He never wanted any more back in those days. But football's changed, isn't it? And
you could have players were taking those kind of deals, though, weren't they? Because it felt like they were at a position where they had to earn the extra year.
Because we were in the conference.
You don't need to. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, there is that to it. Yeah, of course.
Some players back themselves as well, right? Some players don't want the noose of I don't want to sign a 3-year deal, even though it gives me the protection. Actually, if I want to go and get a move to a bigger club, it makes it difficult because. So it works both ways. I think some players it suits them to have 1+1 or just even year by year almost.
Yeah, and I mean it's quite interesting, isn't it, that Luther has sort of announced on his that he did his own deal and he hasn't got an agent anymore, and he did his own deal with the club, and I think that will kick on. I think more players will think, hang on a minute,
I think
I earn 150 grand a year and I'm giving you 50. I'm giving you 10%.
I think Dimitri Mitchell did the same in his Orient deal this year.
Yeah.
Not all players are as smart as Luther, though. Let's be honest.
But players are becoming more autonomous in that space of actually they do want the best for their own careers and they do want to set up their own future and they don't want an agent whispering in their ear trying to get that 10-20% commission on their contract renewal. And in reality, it's become much easier to get the information you want as a person and a player to be able to do those deals yourself.
On this topic, but unrelated to Boro, did you see on the overlap Rooney and Neville talking about in the 2010 season, Neville his contract was like 1.5 million, and Rooney's 18 million for the same season, and Neville's response was, "Shit, I really should have had an agent."
No, unfortunately, Nev, you were a right back. So and that's Luther's problem as well. You know, you're never
It's not a glamorous position, is it?
No one was going to put a bid in for Gary Neville, were they? So
how many goals you're going to score? What's your goal bonus? Don't matter. You know, you just got to work out your clean sheet bonus, and you know, are you going to pay me enough to pay my mortgage and save a bit? So
I think that's it, isn't it? We've
thank you for having me.
Dead horse. You're always welcome, Dean. It's always a pleasure to have you on here. It's always a good laugh because you come out with some right peaches, don't you?
Well, I'll try.
Jordan Houghton, he's not for me.
I could have given you the full SP on mine and Revs' conversation on Saturday, but that I won't because he gave me a run around. Let's put it that way.
No doubt.
I didn't get as far as that. He's not for me on it, but
Nick and Greg, thank you, boys.
Pleasure as always.
And thank you everyone for joining us, listening in, however you do it. Come talk to us on Twitter or Blue Sky or wherever, or don't. It's fine. Fuck's sake.
Seamless.
I'm really not looking forward to tomorrow. Oh no, I didn't stumble over anything. I was trying to gear myself up to be positive, and
I can tell you're not looking forward.
1-0.
I can tell you're not looking forward to tomorrow because you've gone. Let's not even preview the game. Let's move really quickly off it.
Oh yeah, we didn't really preview it, did we? No, you are right. We didn't really preview it.
Let's
fuck it. They've been quite good under Luke Williams. We've been quite shit the last month. That's enough preview.
We had a good discussion about who's playing centre back. That's enough.
Yeah. That'll do. Up the Boro.
Woo. I think we were in sync for that, Greg.
Slightly off. Never mind.
It will tell you what. It will be fucking bang on both sides.